All right, everybody. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all the love I've been getting on my first two videos that I posted in literal years. I really appreciate it. You guys are really sweet. So let us see what we have in store today. I am feeling very rushed with this energy. Like there's a lot on your plate, perhaps. So we should tap into that energy and maybe see what that is about today. Starting off with the tarot. Oh, I got 3 at the same time. Okay, let's see. We have 7 of Cups, the Magician, and we have Temperance. Now that's very interesting. And the Lovers in reverse on the bottom. Okay, so yeah, there is a lot on your plate. I mean, we have 7 of Cups right here. And that's the card of there's a lot on your plate. There's a lot of choices. There's a lot of things for you to choose from, maybe. Let's see. With this Temperance card, it kind of feels like you're juggling 2 things specifically, and that there is something you want to create for yourself. And that's like, I'm feeling that energy of the things you want to create for yourself are maybe just another task on your endless to-do list. That's what it feels like anyway. And that you are really struggling to maybe balance your days. And it just feels like there's endless things. And maybe some of you are trying to create like a better workflow for yourselves, or just a better way of organizing your time so that you can fit all of these things that you want to do, all of these things on your plate. Because it definitely feels like this is possible for you. And it might just be that like some of you have recently taken on a new role, or have recently started a new hobby, or started a new, like for some of you, this might be New Year's resolutions. You may have started a new skill set essentially. So like no matter what type of resolution it is, you still have to likely learn a new skill set or a new routine. So it might just feel very overwhelming right now. But I think these 2 cards are very much not only telling you the importance of the balance, but also letting you know that you are capable of including everything you want to do, everything that's on your plate, as long as you balance it well and balance it correctly. I have 3 of Swords. Okay, that's interesting as well. Maybe this is causing conflict. Like these things are in conflict with each other, and that's why. Okay, let me take these. Yeah, not those. Oops. Too many cards. Can I just get 1 more of these tarot cards, please? Thank you. Yeah, the Empress. I was getting this energy a little bit earlier. There's something about standing in your own power, standing in your own creativity, your own creation. I'm hearing like working for yourself, maybe for some of you, for some of you. Something. Let me just get some more cards to clarify this message. I'm gonna grab these. No, I'm gonna grab these. Because this is definitely something tied to your heart space. I don't think for everyone, or for most people, I'm not getting person. I'm getting things. Situations. So let's tap into that heart space. What's the energy coming from there? What's this about? And then I will say, before I say anything else, we have 3 major arcana. So this is definitely something big. It's definitely something that is weighing on your mind and weighing on your heart. Let's see. I think some of you feel like you might have to walk away from this because you feel like it's overwhelming you so much, or that you failed, or that you have to give up on something. But I think these cards are very much saying the opposite. Yeah, definitely. We have keys on a ring, which many options, decision, unconventional. So this might be similar to the reading I did on Monday, where it might be that same group. That Seven of Cups was in that reading as well, but it is like that. It might be an unconventional path or skill set you've set out on. Can I get one more of these, please? Tap into that heart space. Cute. Talking. A weighted message. Okay, so some of you might be in this place of feeling like you are uncommitted to whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, whatever new routine, new skill you're trying to learn, whatever new thing is in your life. And I think you are being reminded of the past where you have given up on trying. Like, I'm seeing an image of someone trying to like overhaul their entire life at once, right? And so they get overwhelmed because it's very, very difficult to put so much on your plate all at once. You're going to have a new diet. You're going to have a new workout routine. You're going to drink more water. You're going to floss your teeth twice a day, every day. You're going to eat better food. You're going to have an extremely planned out food menu, right? So all of these things, you're trying to do all these things at once. And then you're trying to journal every day. You're trying to do therapy all the time. And I think that there are a lot of you who have experienced this sort of total upheaval, right? And so whenever you try to implement something new, you get reminded of that time. And it's very overwhelming. And it feels like, even if you just added one thing to your routine, or you're trying to implement one thing, it feels extremely overwhelming because you're reminded of that time where everything got to be too much and you just gave up on it. And so I think a lot of you are afraid that's going to happen again. So let's see. I'll shuffle those. I'm going to pull for some advice or additional clarification. There is definitely this message that you are capable, and this is not the past. It's a very specific statement. This is not the past. This is not the past. Whatever you are doing now, it will have a different outcome because you are capable of having a different outcome. I see your dreams need a practical plan. So for some of you, it may be that you're so freaked out by the past that you haven't really set forward into motion what it is that you want to do. This new routine, this time to breathe out. Yeah, let's all take a collective deep breath together. Right? Because whatever it is not as serious as our brains are making it to be. I also have here 2 full moons, by the way. So whatever you want to implement, it might be important for you to schedule it around the moon cycle if you're someone who works with the moon. Letting go of this energy and really leaning into affirmations that you are not in the past, that you are capable of the things you put your mind to, that you're capable of setting this goal, of doing these practical things. And I would recommend for those of you who are experiencing this, I would recommend looking into micro habits. I would recommend starting there, because if this is related to my collective reading, I think some of you are here for Monday, there is this feeling of needing proof that you are capable of doing things, because I feel like a lot of you really struggle with giving up because you feel like you'll fail like last time. There's a lot of repeating cycles in this group. This is also a full moon, by the way. No, it's not. It looked like one. It's a disseminating moon. I'm a liar, ignore me. Anyway, but I did see another full moon, so maybe schedule around the full moon to let go of this and let go of this energy, and really remind yourself and start so small. Start with a micro habit. A micro habit is just like something small that you add to your routine that doesn't change the trajectory of your day. Like it's so minute, right? For some people, so it's like, for some people it's like flossing. Like they don't floss at all. They're literally just adding in flossing once a day or 3 times a week into their routine, and that's the habit. You got to do one at a time. 11:11 on the clock, as I said that. You got to do one at a time, right? Take it so slow so that you can prove that you are capable of bolstering out your routine, of doing new things, of committing to things. Because I think that's a really difficult thing for a lot of you, is that you have a very hard time committing to things because of various reasons, but I'm getting because of overwhelm, because of just not wanting to do it. Remember your why, and why is important. It keeps us on track. And then adding in something small so that we can prove to ourselves that we can do things, that we can add things, that we can be consistent. And we might not be able to be consistent all of the time, every day, right? But we can be consistent enough where it makes a difference in our life. Let's see. Let's grab some of these. I might end up getting one more deck in a moment, but let's see what these oracle cards say. Okay. Yep, I have 3 right here. Yeah. Feel. This is an important one for me, and especially when it comes to experiences like this or feelings like this. It is very important to have a moment to process the things that you are experiencing. So instead of just saying, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and kind of ignoring all of these feelings that are coming up, it's important to sit and really process where they are coming from. If you feel rushed, if you feel like you're going to fail, if you feel like you have to keep going in a stressed state, or you will give up on this new thing you're setting out to do, that is not a good place to be trying to make change from. You will burn yourself out trying to create change from that place. So it is very important to feel and process. And process does not mean intellectualize, right? Saying why we do things from a very practical perspective is important, but it is only the first step. So if you are looking back as to like, why did I do this? And you have reasons, like, say you're examining your behavior in a relationship and you say, oh, why do I do this? And you realize, oh, it's because of this specific childhood trauma, right? And that's why I behave this way. That's great, but that is not processing your feelings. That is not processing your feelings. That is understanding yourself and where it is that those things come from. But processing those feelings is much more somatic than that. It's much more in the body. And it's different for people, different for different people. I would look into somatic processing if that's something you've never looked into before. But basically, feelings will come up, and processing your feelings is allowing space for those feelings. Allow yourself to feel those things. So maybe you feel grief. Maybe you feel just sad. Maybe you feel rage. Maybe you feel shame. Even if you don't know what those feelings are, right? You don't have to name them, right? It's not intellectualizing, right? We're not thinking about what they are or why they are. We're just feeling the feelings as they come and allowing them to move through us. Some of you might want to do this work in tandem with the moon, right? If you do any kind of moon magic, setting intentions and doing spell work with the moon to release, feel and release some of these feelings, addressing the feelings that come up, saying hello, hi, I'm feeling you, kind of thing. I understand. But don't think about it too much. You just have to allow. You might cry, you might laugh, you might do a lot. Personally, I do my best feelings processing through media, exploring things. A lot of times music really helps me feel things. Or even doing more somatic things, movements. But for me, yoga really, really helps me release a lot of feelings. And a lot of times I will process them. I will process feelings that I don't know where they come from. And that's important and very helpful as well. I don't need to know why I'm crying, but it is helpful, and I know that it is helping me release something, helping me process something to be crying in this moment because of the way I'm moving my body. So look into a couple of things. If you do moon magic, that's a good time to do it. Releasing with the full moon is important, or releasing things with the full moon, yes, and setting your intentions with the new moon. And there's things to do with all the phases. I'm not an expert. That's just what I do. So feeling is important, and I think that might be why you're stuck in this cycle, right? It's because there's a lot of there's a lot of loaded feelings that come with something that seems so simple. The idea that you're just setting a goal, right? And in its simplest terms, you're like, if I was observing you, I would say you are setting a goal. But for you, you might be setting a goal because of a bunch of feelings, because you feel inadequate, because you feel like you have to get your shit together, because you feel like you've never been able to do this before and it's time to be a real adult and get your shit together and get going and get moving. Which I have some more cards here. We'll get to them in a second. But so there's pressure on you, internal, external, from the past, from trauma, whatever it is, right? And so you're not just setting intentions, you're not just setting goals, rather. Right? You're not just making goals. You're not just transforming your life because you think it'll be good for you. You're transforming your life because you are motivated by something that feels wrong inside of you. And that is usually the types of things that lead to burnout, that lead to giving up, that lead to all this overwhelm and all this pressure. So it's very important that you recognize that, like, even though you feel called and you want to just simplify your life, or you want to just make things easier for you, or you just want to be healthier, there might be some other things that are coming up as well. And there might have always been some other things that are coming up, but you might now be in a place where you can recognize and work through those things. And that is why you are being called to really listen to the depth, listen deeper to what it is these feelings are telling you. This rush, what is it? So name your feelings first. And you're allowed to intellectualize them, name them, understand where this is coming from, but we also need to feel and release. So I have keep going and opportunity. I really think these kind of just nail what I was talking about. Another full moon, of course. And then I think opportunity really is just that this is your opportunity to sort of work through this shit. And it's always hard, when life invites us, right, to work through our shit. Because it's really hard. It's hard, and knowing that you're in a place to do it, like, even if it doesn't make it easier, right? But knowing that you're in a place to, or like you really have to, or that you won't be able to have the dreams you want or move on to the things that you want to do. It doesn't make it easier. It doesn't make it easier to do the hard stuff. But you are kind of being called, like, that you have the power to do this. You have the power to change. You have the power to You have so much power. You have the power to wield change into your life, but we have to make sure you're doing it from the best place, right? Because if our dreams are just specifically being driven by shame, being driven by emotions that make us feel like shit, then we will burn out and stay in the cycle. So keep going. I think has, you know, a double meaning in a way. It is the reminder of why you are sticking to this, why you are being consistent, how you can heal through this consistency, and all of these other things that will come up. And that even when it's hard, you are capable of going, and that you will thank yourself at the end. Even if you only stick to this thing for 6 months, for a year, I think it will be the longest, like for a lot of you, it feels like that will be the longest you've ever really stuck to something. And I think you would surprise yourself. You will surprise yourself with what that feels like, of working through the overwhelm, of learning to handle, regulate, process your feelings when it comes to even this, and working through micro habits and proving yourself that you are capable of change, capable of, you know, continuing forward. There is something else here, and I want to grab one more deck because I feel like I just need a message from something else. So I'll be right back. Okay. I get a couple of messages from this deck, please. You know, I'm thinking about a deck that I don't have anymore, which is interesting. My guides are like, there's answers in that deck, and I'm like, I gave that deck away to someone I shouldn't have given it to. Am I right? So maybe there's a message in that for you. Don't give yourself away to someone else right now, or don't give your energy away right now. You need to focus on yourself. There's also maybe just a message of, like, literally, if you're thinking about gifting something and you're on the fence about that person or on the fence about that thing, maybe keep it if it's something that you own or that it's something that's important to you. I don't know, that might just be a message for a very specific person, but we have the path. Yeah, this is it. And, like, this reminds me to keep on the path, keep going, because that's what the moon is, a portal. You know, I know there's also a moon in here, but the moon is a portal, and you will walk through it. You will, that's interesting. The moon is a portal and you will walk through it. Message for those of you who resonate with that. Okay. And can I get one more, perhaps? Okay, that is 3, but you know what? I'll take them. We have release. What did I say? This card is so important right now. There is, like, so much inside of you, so much bottled, like, and I think a lot of you might not even realize how much is bottled, because I think a lot of you felt like this part of you was a personal failure, a personal characteristic that was like a bad thing, right? This is just the way you are, and you hate it about yourself. But I think that it's not true. I think that that's just what you've been told, or what your experience has told you, or what other people may have told you. We have boundaries and acceptance as well. Yeah, there is something here. And I think that it's because it doesn't apply to everyone. There are some of you who are spread very thin right now. And there's this message of acceptance, right? Of accepting your feelings, of accepting that you are not this version of yourself that you've been told you are. There is acceptance of learning how to feel your feelings, process your feelings. There's this acceptance that it goes deeper, that it runs deeper. But there is also, might be a message with this 3 of Swords specifically about another person who may be, like, I don't want to say negatively influencing you or negatively impacting you, though that might be true, but might, like, uphold these feelings, right? This negativity that we associate with these things, and they're not doing it on purpose, but there's this feeling that maybe you need to distance yourself from some people or some person right now while you're working through these things, and really set up strong boundaries about, you know, not interacting with people if they're going to refer to you specific ways, or, you know, setting very firm boundaries. And some of you might, I'm getting like the hermit energy of like, some of you might need to like take a couple of weeks to yourself, because this might be like big, energetically draining, or something that really needs your focus. Yeah, there's definitely that's just for a few people. So, a lot of you can do this sort of like in your everyday practice or your everyday life. But the biggest message is that you are capable. You're capable of all these things that you think you should be able to do, right? But it's not just because you should be able to do them. It's just that there is nothing inherently wrong with the way you are. You are someone who has experienced trauma. You're someone who has experienced hardship. You are someone who has just never had the opportunity to learn this skill or learn these skills, learn how to organize yourself, or, you know, there's someone who has just struggled to get their shit together, right? And that's not a bad way to be. It's not a bad way to exist, but somehow along the way, you've internalized that it is. It's okay to be like this. It's okay to have a hard time with this. And I think you will be surprised, not just what you're capable of, right? Because for some of you, it's like you gave up a long time ago because you labeled yourself as someone who is bad at this, or someone who is disorganized or whatever. But I think a lot of you will find that you need specific systems to work with you, but also that you'll be surprised when that acceptance comes, when that processing comes, when that happens, when you're able to look at yourself more neutrally or even positively, that these things might not matter as much, that it will be easier to do these things, not because you're a better person or not because you've learned these skills, though you will likely learn skills that will help you keep yourself on track in the process of learning how to keep yourself on track. But it's also just because it won't be such a big deal, right? It won't be such a big deal to be an adult in the ways that you've ascribed adulthood, or described these traits you've ascribed to adulthood, I guess. And I think that will be really freeing for you. And it will really open up opportunities and free up this space in your brain to take on more and prove to yourself again and again that you are capable of committing, and that you are allowed to let go of things that are not working out for you. It's not failure, it's not giving up, it's just not what works for your brain or not what you need at the moment. So yeah, that's definitely what I'm seeing for you. Definitely success. And definitely moving away from this like Three of Swords energy into this more, it's like satisfied. That's what this Empress card was about. This feeling at home within yourself and feeling the power that you have. You know, with this Magician, with the Empress, we have cards of people who are powerful, and the Empress especially, she's so cool and calm and just like aware, right? She nurtures and she grows, but she's just there. She knows that she can do it without fail. She believes in herself. She has no doubts. And I think you are finding that this journey will take you to a place where you feel more like that Empress energy. So yeah, that is what I'm saying for you. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments. I really love reading comments from you guys, and I will always respond to them. Questions, whatever you have, just want to share. And I will see you guys in my next reading. Have a good day.